Hello and welcome back to the Undead Crypt. I had some cleaning up off screen, so we're gonna have our journey, more smooth towards the boss, because otherwise it would have taken another eternity, like in the Iron Keep. So let's summon Scarlet and proceed to the hallway that we had unlocked at the end of the previous part. There we go. If all goes well, we should be able to beat the boss with this attempt, but let's not be too optimistic, because that's the moment where usually Dark Souls, pulls the rug under your feet. Come on, Scarlet. Get here. There you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah, some of the cleanups included actually defeating one of the soldiers in the background, which actually doesn't respawn. It was actually one of the dragon riders. So now we only have these two guards left, which are actually more easy to dispatch.
Right, so vámonos. Vedete?
What?
I just start by saying foreign words for hurry up.
Oh, Toraita. Okay, it was just the pronunciation, but I didn't understand immediately. Alright.
Yeah.
Thankfully, these guys are very easy to backstab, so they're also easy to deal with, which just leaves us with the boss. But
These
if I recall,
guys are very easy to backstab, spoken like a true businessman.
as told by Patches, there you go. There's another summoning sign here for Agdane, the William Wallace guy from before. Since we didn't aggro him by providing a source of light, he can also help us too, defeating. And damn, that's a big ass sword. Did Gatsu actually give it to you? Alright, Merry Band, let's go defeat Velstad. Hopefully.
Me and Peter have recommenced from scratch our journey through the Dragon Ball anime. We started off with, of course, the OG series, and we're up to the mid-10s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as in, we finished the first arc.
Okay.
Where the show has the interesting idea of getting the thing that the show's named after all done and dusted pretty early on. So now we've got to wait a year.
Mm-hmm. That's part of the charm. It's not just a matter of collecting the Dragon Balls too, but also what happens in the intermediate time, and what potentially dangers are in the area.
Like if you found One Piece in like episode 10, and then everyone's like, so now what?
Well, not exactly. It's more of a... One Piece has its way also to demonstrate in a different kind of way. For example, the crew reaching, a new town and having to have their arc there. But then there's a moment of, more levity in between islands, collecting, their thoughts in what they can do and something like that. Yeah, like this is why like I said, the anime is a bit weaker on that side, because instead, because it needs to play catch up constantly, it has a shitload of filler, to compensate between islands arcs. So there is that. Go on, Dweebs. Like I mentioned, you want to talk about the Netflix series.
Well, I've only seen the first episode so far,
Shit.
and I thought it was solid.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've been hearing, reaction to the rest of the series has also been pretty positive. So yeah, basically, guys, we finally found it.
A Netflix series that doesn't suck. I mean, as in adaptation from anime. Sorry.
And also, we have found the key ingredient you need to making a good live-action anime adaptation.
What?
ITV, of all people.
Oh, I thought you were going to say staying true to the source material.
No, ITV, because ITV are part of the production company that made the show. Although they also did make the Cowboy Bebop one, so...
It's a bit skeevy, I get it.
Yeah, I guess maybe they work better with Well, then again, ITV studios have experience of adapting of
There
really
we go.
long TV shows. Hell, one of the shows is literally the longest running soap opera on the planet.
Anyway, there
That
you
one's
go.
Kari, right?
Yeah, Coronation Street. Yeah.
It took a bit, but we managed to do it. So let's check a bit the soul of Velstad. Why not? Where is it? There you go. It's a bit black for some reason. Maybe corrupted. Soul of Velstad, the defender of the king inside of the undead crypt. Velstad was always at the king's side, as if he were his lord's own shadow. After the king retired to the undead crypt, Velstad followed, never to return. And yeah, it's pretty much corrupted by that. So let's go. Let's proceed forward and seek an advance with King Vendrick and see how it is. Oh man. Yeah, King Vendrick is not exactly in the best of shapes, and it's best if we're not disturbing for the time being. Let's collect whatever this is. Alas, nothing happened. We can potentially start attacking King Vendrick, but I would not advise you. In these conditions, we're not good at fighting, but we'll come back to him, at a later time. Instead, we find here the Emerald Herald, so let's talk to her again.
Use it to gain passage through the King's Gate.
Do you mind? I'm sleeping.
Leave me alone, I'm busy.
Bearer of the curse.
Essentially, the Emerald Herald tells us where to go next. We need to use the King's Ring to open a set of special doors that will grant us passage into specific points that will actually help us reaching ultimate attunement with our purpose. Thank you, miss. Goodbye. Continue, Dweebs.
I also showed Pedro, says I'm not sure I don't know if he'd seen it or not. I showed him the first episode of the original English dub of Evangelion.
The one with Spike Spencer.
Yeah, and I can't wait till I show him episode 2 and we get to the Council of Four Kids accents. Literally, there's a scene where Shinji's dad is talking to basically the
Council of Humanity.
Grumpy, the stone-faced grumpy council. And ADV decided to give them interesting accents.
It really is like what Kaiba said during the virtual reality arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. The unnecessary sovereignism. You see, Mr. Kaiba, this is a rice bowl. Now it's a burger. And now it's a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that was the thing. I mean, the dub was okay. I won't say it was straight necessarily, but it was semi-serious. And then we get to the episode with the accents.
Don't know what to tell you, Dweebs. Alright, before continuing, let's have a small detour going back to the Shrine of Amana, because we can actually reach the location in which we actually freed the Milfanito that was in the cage in Dranglei's castle. So let's pay her a visit before continuing. If I recall correctly, it's this way. Go away. There we go, that's much better. There we go. Continue, Dweebs, in the meantime.
So yeah, there was Dragon Ball.
Especially because we have a Pyromancer to fight in the meantime.
The Council of Accents.
Have you seen Blue Beetle yet in theaters? I forgot.
Yes, I have.
So, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, then. That's interesting. I'm actually interested, especially because I have a bit of a history reading some of Blue Beetle comics, so I'm actually curious to see how they get translated onto the big screen. Blue Beetle is the kind of, underdog hero that always deserved a chance, but until now never got it. So it's actually pretty stoked to see it. Especially since the latest incarnation, Jaime, is also, good social commentary. Gone.
Well, unfortunately, it's box office.
Terrible
wasn't
timing,
great.
unfortunately, between the fiasco that happened with the Flash and the different strikes. Yeah,
And also that people, I think people have cottoned on that the DCEU is practically dead.
again, that still has to see what will stick and what not. But anyway, we reached the Mifamito, so let's talk with her.
Who are you? And what do you want from us?
It's really hot over here.
There you go. It's more of a case, Reeves, we're in the middle of a swamp, so probably a sort of bit is actually, more, accepted more than anything.
We know nothing of the outside world.
Yeah, the Mifamito are basically the non-cult that actually sing eternally in these lands and nothing else, so not much of a great existence that they have.
We know nothing of the outside world, and we do not need to. The little ones were born from the great dead one. And the great dead one taught us song. We have sung ever since, to comfort those bound by death and dark. This is what we were taught. We hear a song in the distance. You rescued a Milfanito who was taken from us.
Yeah, there you go. She's actually thanking me.
Take this.
With
We Milfanito thank you.
a fire seed. It's one of the items that you can burn into the, if I recall correctly, in the bonfire for stuff.
What she said, you rescued a MILF.
Again, unfortunate naming, so yeah. And in order to, after defeating the Demon of Song, she instead gives us the Divine Blessing. It's essentially the ultimate healing item of the game, the one we would never use. So there's that too.
It's like in the dub. It's like when I'm watching the dub of Dragon Ball. They keep throwing in ways to say the balls, and I'm like, okay, the localizers are trolling me at this point.
The Petrified something, if I recall correctly, is just a item for magic. But you can also use this bonfire, potentially, if I recall correctly, to... There you go, okay. To actually heal yourself, by praying it to heal yourself from becoming hollow, in case you don't have any more, you don't have any more human effigies. So that's pretty cool. The game actually rewards you at this point with something that can actually, cure you, if you're just willing to do some back and forth. So that's pretty neat.
Oh, I also found another example of a Japanese game having the same actor in both Japanese and English. This time in a video game.
Gone.
Have you played Azure Striker Gun Vault 3?
No, Dead and Drova probably know better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, there's a character called Desner, and it's voiced by a Russian immigrant to Japan called Genya. And the English, bear in mind, she only had like a few lines at best because there's a boss fight. I can best describe the English as passionate.
So, well,
I'll give it that.
Again,
I'll give him that.
there's also the way languages are integrated into the plot, like in the first Nihon, where your main character is English, or I think Irish. I forgot specifically if it's from which part of the Britain Empire he is from specifically. But when you get to Japan, everyone speaks very properly in Japanese. But the ninja Hanzo instead, which is played by Toshuki Morikawa, knows a bit of English, but while heavily accented, but he can speak to you occasionally, so that's pretty cool. In also true ninja tradition, Shirei, he also carries a cat in his garment to use as a clock. Yes, that was a thing. In order, there you go. With the King's Ring, we actually managed to open this door. But basically, yes, in ancient times, in case of emergency, checking the irises of cats responding to light was a good indication of what time it was.
Sure, why not?
Go on, Dweebs.
I've even been looking around on the internet trying to find examples of like of, like, say, the Japanese versions of anime having characters speak English in it, and I have found a couple that are legible,
Okay.
and yeah,
Okay.
I don't mind. I don't mind the odd occasion when they try that, having the same person do both languages, because why not shake things up a bit?
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes it works, sometimes
You win some, you lose some.
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Also, since it's October, when we're recording this, how appropriate that we have a new location themed after this, Frankenstein Mansion, parallel with Aldia's Keep. You forgot Aldia is the guy that popped up occasionally, in the bonfire. Jesus Christ, it one-shot me. Oh, because he petrified me. But I can use this time to explain. Aldia was the guy who that popped up in the bonfires occasionally to tell me something, but that was an addition for Scrubber Thursday in Scene. This location was also in the vanilla game. For all we know, Aldia is just, a mad scientist who's experimented on a lot of people. Damn, that's also, give me a second. So, again, and now we're about to visit his House of Horrors. So, again, very themed with October. So trust me, it's not gonna be pretty. It's a fine enough dungeon. I don't think it's too much difficult to go through. But the unethical experiments will be testing, to say the least. Yeesh. There's also the fact that again we had this fucking ogre before we're entering in. Again, this is just one of the locations that opens up with the King's Ring. There will be a couple of others, but I think visiting this one is also appropriate because we still need, this is still relatively important. This will lead us to have one plot element that we need. So there is that. And like I said, we eventually need to confront King Vendrick. We're just not in good conditions to do it, especially because, and the game tells you that because, it doesn't make him aggro towards you and just aim endlessly. Which again, it's a good reflecting, apparently once might King Vendrick, who talked to, we've been talked about, countless from people all over the world, now it's just that kind of Ask dragging his sword inside his own tomb. Not even he could actually escape, the curse of the undead. Alright, there's a bonfire here. Unfortunately, one of the side effects of this particular run is that a couple of the storylines we did not manage to proceed through, and one of them is Lucatiel, that girl who had, the Musketeer set, which if we had followed through, she would have, been here telling us something about her life. But alas, we could not manage to proceed through, because some of these do require that you manage to find them with a specific timing, some of them as NPC helper for the specific boss, and for them to stay alive for the specific boss. Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to do it. Same goes also for Pate and his partner. I thought for sure we were gonna, trigger their confrontation, in Seldora, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, alas. And instead in here we found a Radiant Life Gem, always appreciated. Alright, as a preview of things to come, there is a carriage here with something inside, we don't know what that is. Oh, and I got invaded, speaking of Lucatiel, by, I think, either her fiancé or her brother, Aslatiel.
Hi. Come here often?
Mm-hmm. In order to complete Lucatiel's questline, if we manage to actually defeat him, there you go, it's actually relatively easy to poke him around. If we manage to defeat him, Lucatiel will give us her entire set, and it's strongly implied that she will die by going hollow herself. Again, the true thing, the constant thing about these Dark Souls and Bloodborne products is that there are no real happy endings, just some degrees of it. There are also some torches that you can light up, we can do it later. Alright, open up. Do we have a moment to talk about our lord? Oh, look, a dragon skeleton. That's pretty cute. Fading Soul. Tee. Although it's blocking a bit the passage, so... Well, actually no, not really, but... Let's move forward here instead. There's another brazier. I think it's another location where we can, you know, properly light them up. Oh, goody, it's this. Let's see. There's someone, Dark Spirit ahead. There's someone behind this barrier where we can talk with. Let's do it.
Please, just stay away. No, please, don't come near me. Nothing good will come of it.
Are you okay, dude?
Just leave me alone, please. Leave this place and leave me be. As I
Well, how do you know?
harm befall you.
Yeah, come on. Maybe someone needs to just cheer you up. Okay, then maybe we should come back later. Although, why would he hide himself behind that force field? Weird. Pull back. Maybe you should come also here later. Alright, sorry Mr. Skeleton, let me just climb here behind you, thank you.
I played a little bit of the first Ape Escape.
Ah, right, because it's, you know,
Through,
it's in the PlayStation backward compatibility program. Go on.
It's different using the analog stick for.
Back when it came out, it was essentially a marvelous tech demo to showcase the power of the different, you know, analog controllers.
shock.
Yeah. Yeah, and the vibration too. Yeah, you're right.
And in case you're wondering what version it is, it's the PAL version with the UK voices, the superior one in my opinion.
Oh man, you and Jova will never stop bickering about that. Both that and Gex.
No, we will not.
I remember the Italian dub being okay, but I will need to listen again because the PS1 era was infamous for having very bad Italian dubs for video games.
And as for Gex, nothing against Dana Gould, but especially for like Gex 2, if he's meant to be like a pastiche of James Bond, why does he sound like
Gilbert
like
Gottfried?
in the middle of the US?
I remember hearing one bit about the American Gex, and he does try to sound, you know, very over the top, you know, be raspy again, like Gilbert Gottfried.
So they got the guy who played the Sorting Hat in Harry Potter to do the UK voice for him.
I mean,
And it's a lot more
sophisticated. Yeah.
As you'd expect a spy to sound. Whereas in the third game, in the UK version, they gave him the voice of Cat from Red Dwarf.
Okay.
Literally, they got Danny John Jules and just had him do his cat voice for Gex.
Okay, since I'm not as versed in, you know, in Red Dwarf as you guys, is it a code name for one of the characters, or is a literal cat? Or both?
Well, the character he plays, because the show is set millions and millions of years in the future, he plays a character whose race is humanoid-like, but it descended from cats, like how we're descended from...
Okay, it's kind of like, you know, Starfire from the Teen Titans.
Yeah, in a way.
Jesus, this guy's strong. You and your stupid big-ass sword. There we go.
How do you carry that around and it not clank all over the floor when you're running about?
Because he keeps it on his shoulder, usually. That's one way to put it.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what should happen to Cloud. Being carrying around a big bulky sword like that, he should not have enough time to attack properly and he should die.
Poor bastard. Well, again, the crossover... Sorry, not the crossover, but... The first part of the remake already put a bit of a deconstruction on the Buster Sword by having the scene where Cloud is tripping balls in the motel, you know, and he's seeing Sephiroth and he tries to attack, but because, you know, the the ceiling is too actually short. The room is not that tall, and the ceiling is actually very close. He cannot actually unsheath the Buster Sword correctly, and he almost gets killed because of that.
Exactly.
So there is some of that, at play. It's also good for shadowing because, of the true nature of Cloud, is training a soldier and everything. Which actually reminded me something to talk about. Ever Crisis is actually being released the time we're recording, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm actually recording it as I'm playing to give a more appropriate experience.
Unfortunately, Square and Applebot are about as cheap with the voice acting as they have been recently for Near Reincarnation.
Because there's only Japanese voices. Well, to be fair, it's just a couple of, voice lines. I don't know if they could have just, recycled some from the the remake and the remake of Crisis Core. But then again, it also introduces a couple of new characters as well, so I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't care, honestly. As someone who's not from an English-speaking country. Why is there a red stain here?
Wait a minute, that's not
Don't
a
ask
red
questions.
stain. That's blood.
I mean, it's a blood stain, specifically.
Blood stain, Ritual of the Night.
That's not this game, actually.
We might be doing that one in about 10 years.
Yeah,
maybe.
because vent that hole. Whatever. Alright, I guess the only way to actually progress is to actually free that ogre from petrification, and I'm not gonna like it because I don't think we're in the condition to actually defeat him. Maybe I should actually also use that those souls. Again, when I collect back the souls, I will actually, go. If I die and I collect the souls, I will use them to actually, try to level up. Okay, I can deal decent amount of damage, but I still need to watch out for his attacks. Like this.
Didn't you mention Roblox earlier, Tio?
Off commentary, dweebs.
Okay, because apparently they're making a they're releasing a PS4 and PS5 version this month. When they're releasing it.
You have to understand, Roblox is kinda sorta like Minecraft, but it's more of an engine construction, more than an actual building simulator. So it's a bit different as well. People created a lot of interesting things inside Roblox, admittedly. Alright, let's go collect back our souls. And hopefully we should be able to defeat the ogre this time. Like I said, that's just the beginning of experiments in Aldia's Keep. Alright, moving on from here, up the stairs. Where did I left my souls? Or more Garfield-esque term, now where could my souls be?
Dark. I don't know. Have you checked under your desk?
Fuck!
Well, apparently he
told-
didn't
told-
check under his desk.
I hate
told
this ogre.
you. Told you. You should check under the desk. And because you didn't find your soul, you got killed by an ogre.
It's Joker.
Whatever, you're dead.
You were warned ogre and ogre and ogre again.
That's literally a line from King's Quest.
God damn.
The bit where the bit where an ogre killed you.
I found it so surreal that the creators of that, Zelda, I forgot the name. One of the creators of that franchise is now still doing a new game. And not even a case of, coming out of retirement or anything. She just decided to go and do it. Alright, let's try to move. There we go.
Let's get moving.
Oh, now there's a giant basilisk inside that cage. I'm sure that can hold him. Let's move on.
I also saw this anime short film a few weeks ago called, I don't know if I mentioned this on commentary before. It's called Blood the Last Vampire.
I might have heard of it.
And it's interesting in that it has both English and Japanese in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
As in, they're not different voice tracks; they're all the same one. Some characters speak Japanese to each other, some speak English to each other.
Yeah, it's kind of like something like, say, also, like I mentioned, the first Neo or Binary Domain, that kind of stuff. Like where, characters from a different country has to speak in universe.
And it's fine, if very short. Yeah, it's not even 45 minutes. It's 48 minutes.
It's an OVA. Again,
it's barely longer than a Doctor...
Go on.
It's barely longer than a Doctor Who episode.
Like I said, doing our Digimon movie podcast, with Deji and Naru Madoka, anime OVAs have, tend to not to be confined by, theatrical length, so they can be, the length that we so choose to desire, whatever be 20, 30, 40 minutes if necessary. Alright, let's try to kill the giant basilisk. Jesus Christ, this thing is... Look at the size of that thing. That Sheila. There we go. I don't remember if he responds or not. Dragon Sagewood. Okay then. Chance ahead. No thank you. Let's try to see under these stairs. Oh, never mind. It's the passage that I could have took instead of freeing the guy. Alright, let's also use these to actually talk again. Let's see if the prisoner from before can actually tell us something new now that something has changed. We're technically starting to becoming hollow, technically, so maybe.
Go away.
And there you go. Yeah, this particular NPCs seems to be more eager to talk to all on that. Although there's a chance he might be either possessed or suffering DID.
What's this guy's name?
I forgot. He will tell us in a second.
This contains my power.
So it seems that rather than, wanting to seal himself from outside, apparently this berry is there to seal the outside from him.
The fool dreamt of bringing new forms of magic into the world.
Apparently this guy must be a very potent mage.
He created me. Mostly by
One of Aldia's experiments too.
fine job, I must say. What he sought was strength, and so I decided to demonstrate. While my vessel slept, I'd find my mark and hunt him down.
And also a sort of a bounty hunter.
My vessel did not approve, and so while I slept, he sealed the both of us away. Now I don't have anything against humans, but how is it that you go about defining good and evil?
Oh, you're one of those people.
I'm
Okay.
using what the gods gave me. How can that be so wrong? So what say you to a spot of murder on my behalf?
So, if we're hollow, we can talk to him and take us and give us essentially bounty hunting quest, killing specific NPCs for our reward. Well, there is a bit of a catch. I can assure you, it may not necessarily have to be with ending the life of an NPC. So, what do you say, Dweebs? Yes or no?
No.
Shirai?
No.
Okay then.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, mate.
Forget that I asked.
The voices in my head have spoken. You're not the only one.
Am I right? Your feeble mind can't begin to comprehend me. Not that you've ever tried
Let me see.
No,
Okay.
I'm only. So if you don't.
Alright, moving on.
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of this guy is. I will search it in between parts and I'll tell you.
Alright.
Man, this skeleton is cool, but he's actually giving, you know, a bit of movement issues. Alright, since the only way forward is through that door that was behind the giant basilisk, let's go there. Let's see what the sign says. Help me. Beggar. Follow attacking. Try... Okay, I'm not reading that. Alright. Having the contraction that opens a door inside of a statue, is it the tongue of a dragon statue? That's something you will see in a Saturday morning's cartoon opening. Light, and using a Pharaoh's Lockstone in here, it lights up the area. Oh man, seems that Aldi had a lot of things stored inside. A mimic, an ogre, a fungi creature. Man, I really don't...
Maybe you didn't need to turn the light on.
No, well, it's... If I recall correctly, we should be able to actually stay put in their cages as long as we don't do anything about them. Radiant Life Gem. Hopefully. Alright, let's open the door and see what's inside door number 1. Okay, seems nothing. Well, there is a basement. Let's check that out. Ugh. This piece yellow. Yeah, it's another
We went from toxic green to piss yellow.
It's another one of those rooms that's chock full of liquid that actually, you know, corrodes your weapons. And there's a hole that probably lets people being dumped into it. Again, also...
It doesn't look very healthy.
It's like that scene in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids where they have that, what's it called, that river, and they're like, you don't know what's that one. It could be water, it could be dog's piss.
Yeah.
But also, all those braziers, maybe we should come back to light them up at some point. It's locked. Okay then. Oh, there are also some... The paintings can also be detached. Let's see if there's a secret passage behind those. Well, there's an enemy behind one of those, so there is that too.
There better be a passage, otherwise what's actually the point?
This... Okay, between Dragon Lake Castle and this, someone at the From Software, when they made this, probably was really a fan of Scooby-Doo. The only thing that's missing is the said portraits to have that... The eye, you know, holes that have actually can be used to spy on people. Maybe forward. There's another secret passage potentially. Sorry, Mr. Ogre, I need to circumvent the issue. Let's see here. There's one of Aldia's servants, but... and like I said, the hole in here actually leads to the 2 dogs and the pissing pool. Okay then. And a lot of corpses of giants. This is not a great sight. Oh no. Oh no. This ain't good, Chief. Goodbye. Nice seeing you. Shit, it's locked.
Oh well.
This one isn't, so let's move on. Fuck, another one! Alright, only way forward is inside here, so let's move inside. And there's a boss, a dragon. Fuck. Thankfully, this particular dragon, or a wyvern, because you know it's a wyvern, seems, if I recall correctly, it's relatively doable as a boss, so I should be able to solo it.
Yeah, wyvern, dragons.
Absolutely not, Dwebs.
I was just echoing the developers.
Oh, trust me, you will see a lot of people on the internet thinking that it's not big of a deal, it's the same thing, you know. The key is to actually keep your eyes onto the wyvern, because, you know, sometimes it will just, you know, love to fly and try to stomp you, sometimes love to breathe fire on you, you know, from there you go, like so. Fuck me sideways.
Wow, that's
Again, also the other thing is that, you know, he doesn't have a lot of health, so... Camera, I would like to for you to cooperate. Jeez. The key trick into fighting all of these dragons, because yes, there's gonna be more on the horizon, is to always stay basically close to them. You know, when they actually try to launch themselves up when breathing fire, logically their spread will not reach you if you actually stay close to them or to their equivalent position. So stay close and smack either the booty or the rear, you know, the rear legs. Ow. It's not a foolproof method 100% of the time, but hey, it works most of them, so it's your best chance compared to just, you know, get stuffed. Go. There we go. Done it first time. Without help. And we get the Guardian Dragon Soul. Let's give it a look.
I wish all enemies in video games just vanished when I killed them.
Well, it's a
Especially
classic
in
staple of
stealth
RPGs, but anyway. Soul of a dragon that guards the path to the shrine. Do the dragons watch over the land of their own will, or are they in the grip of one of Aldia's spells? Food for thought. We will explore a bit more of Aldian's mansion maybe in the next part, especially because I don't think we have a lot of that much time left, but let's instead move forward. And from this corpse we get a dragon scale. These are useful for, you know, augmenting equipment. Yeah, the Metal Gear Solid 3 stinger of the hero. Ta da da da.
Nah, I was going for the Bond team.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Red Bull Gold now it has. I love the. I can imagine the thought process that they had when making that soundtrack was. Okay, we have the rights to the Bond theme. Fine, let's just do all the songs with it.
As it's kind of typical for Rare to just have the main theme being remixed, you know, in different sauces. And this leads us to the Dragon Airy. Well marketed, you know, things from the games press. An entire shrine dedicated to dragons with them flying around. And yeah, these are actually old models. Again, it was a thing of trying to showcase the power of you know, the engine and the console by having all these dragons moving at the same time and everything. The question is, can they attack you? The answer may surprise you, but for now, the Emerald Herald is also here, so let's talk to her.
Bearer of the curse, long have I awaited one such as you. One who might shatter the shackles of fate. One who can set me free. Bearer of the curse, it was my own manifestation that led you here. The ancient dragon has watched over the world for eons past. Take this.
Did she steal Link's tunic?
And she gives us an aged feather.
Do not resist.
More on that later.
The dragon welcomes you.
It seems that the dragon of this place should be friendly to us. We'll see. But let's check quickly that item that she gave to us, the ancient feather, if I manage to find it. If I recall correctly, it should be here. There you go. An aged bird feather, returned to the last bonfire rest at, can be used repeatedly. The child of a dragon, sequestered away from the world. Imagine a world of boundless possibilities from the mere sight of a feather. Essentially, at this stage of the game rewards you by giving you an item that allows you to, you know, that has the same effect of as a homeward bone, but for infinite uses. So you can return to bonfires, you know, endlessly without having to consume items. Again, it's a nice gesture that the first game did not add. Go on, Dibs.
Not much really. I mean, we're nearly 50 minutes in.
Okay, well, we will see a bit of the area. Don't worry. Well, you were mentioning about instead the GoldenEye video game.
Yeah, that's really all, really. I mean, they have the rights to the Bond theme. Of course, they're going to want to make as much use of it as they could.
What composer of Rare was in there? David Wise, Grant Kirkhope, or someone else?
And Robin Beanland.
Oh, it was a conjunct effort. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get up here just a bit, just to see a bit the way forward. Because this is a slightly vertical kind of vertical level, with different kind of small islands and caves. You know, it's just because the dragons are ideally friendly to you doesn't mean that the danger, you know, is completely 100% gone from here. Alright, tell you what, we're gonna go level up, and when we'll end the part and explore the place in the next one.
Alright.
For the time being, let's go there.
Love it if he was saving the game and then a dragon just swooped in from above.
Thankfully, Waves, the game is not that dickish. If an enemy is engaged to you, in combat with you, and you're at the bonfire will not activate accordingly. The game basically tells you know, either finish this or get to safety. Otherwise, you're not able to chip your way out of this. Which is fair to me, you know. Let's see. Stamina, yeah, why not? Alright, I think that's pretty much it. So, tune in next time where either we will continue to see what the rest of Audience Mansion was, or we'll progress through the Dragon area. See ya!
See ya.